Welcome back, mathematicians. In this video, we are going to factor a quadratic expression with three terms where the leading coefficient, or a, is equal to 1. So when we factor three terms, a quadratic expression with three terms, we will have factors that are two terms each. We call those binomials. What we know is that the first terms of those two binomials will come from the factors of the first term in the quadratic expression, which is x squared. Because the leading coefficient is 1, that tells us that the first terms in our binomials will be x and x. The second pair of terms in our binomials will come from the factors of negative 24, or c in the quadratic expression. Now there are lots of factors for negative 24, and we need to pick the correct one, or the correct pair. So to do this and to help organize our thinking, I like to create what's called a factor sum table. Now this is not the only way to do this. This is just a strategy, really an organizational tool to help us process this information. If you choose to do it differently, there are lots of different strategies on how you can organize your thinking and also attack this problem. So I'm trying to find factors of negative 24, and I want the sum of those factors to be the b term, which is negative 2. So let's just find a few pairs of factors of negative 24, and let's see if their sum is equal to negative 2. So let's start with, how about negative 12 times 2? Well, the sum of negative 12 and 2, meaning I'm going to take negative 12 plus 2, is equal to negative 10. So that doesn't work. So I'm going to continue to pick a few more. So how about we do, how about 6 and 4? Now I'm going to make the negative, I'm going to assign the negative with the larger value here, which is 6. Why am I doing that? Because I want the sum to be negative. So I want the larger value to be negative when I'm adding them to get a sum that is negative. So negative 6 plus 4 is equal to negative 2. Now this may take a minute or a little longer than what it took me, but as you work through this, continue to pick factors of your c, your constant value, and try to find the one that works and gives you the sum of your b value. So then we just go ahead and put our second pair of terms as negative 6 and positive 4. And order really doesn't matter in this case because the first terms are both x and x. Now if you're curious about checking this out, you can go ahead and use the distributive property to check to see if you did this correctly, or some people like to say FOIL. So I'll do that really quickly. For my first, I've got x times x, which is x squared. For my outside, I've got x times positive 4, which is plus 4x. For my inside, I have negative 6 times x, which is negative 6x. And for my last, I've got negative 6 times positive 4, which is negative 24. Finally, I'll add those two middle terms together, so I have x squared minus 2x minus 24. And if this expression matches the original expression of the problem, then I know I did it correctly. All right, guys, good luck.